Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So today is the beginning of 3 episodes, which is I'm making, or 3 continued videos, which I'm making 3 parts to answer many questions our Wing Chunner friends asking me. So what happened is this. I was posting many YouTube, short YouTube in a few days ago. And questions start to coming in asking me what is my agenda on posting this, what is my systems, all sort of stuff. Some even asking me about pressure testing, all sort of stuff. And some even send me this, the Tai Chi stuff, like about assessing Qi, okay? And is that true that this is the way to develop Qi? And then about the 1 inch power or no inch power in Tai Chi, and talk about generate power without mass. The techniques focus on moving energy through the body to generate penetrating power, not just pushing an opponent back. This power can be generated even when close to an opponent, all kind of stuff. So I'm making this continuing 3 parts of video to share with you what is going on by evidence, okay? Because by evidence, because it need to be by evidence. It's like what? It's like you buy this phone. You buy this phone. You pay for it. Do you want to know how to make use of it? Really, okay? Be able to use it, be able to use the GPS and everything. And then you need to be able to update it too, the software update and so forth. So everything is by evidence because this is a technology. It is not some kinds of somebody's belief. Okay? So whatever I said has to be by evidence because it's no different than buying an Apple phone or a Google phone. What's the point of wasting all the time and did not be able to get the benefit from the product you're buying? Now you might say, 100, you become American now. Everything you talk about dollar and commercial business. Do you know that is the best way? You sell an iPhone, you got specifications, and you need to back up for your specifications. And the customer know that this is a specification, it is backed by the company. So let's not talk about all those motak, the virtue of martial art, all those things when you couldn't even satisfy to back up the specifications. Okay. So let's get into bottom line, The guy, the grandmaster say is the seller, and the student is the customer. It has to be mutual benefit and have mutual respects. Now, so this is the identity of Wing Chun 1850, the anti-Qing Wing Chun in the Red Book. The art belongs to the actor who play female role. That's why it's called female art. And you know that it is a descendant of General Qi Jiguang. This is General Qi Jiguang's teaching. Okay, so this is the identity. And you know this is belong to the anti-Qing, the Chinese Freemasons in America, or Hong Mun in Asia. Now, this is the writing of your Wing Chun, the core of the Wing Chun 1850. It is the writing for the entire Xiu Lian Tao. Well, this thing is like your iPhone. You don't read this thing as a literature. You ask every part of it. How is it fit to physics, human biology? It's not a fictions. You read whatever, however you want. You interpret whatever, however you want. It is like a software code. Every one of those have to obey the language of the software, the computer language, or every one of us have to obey the law of physics. So in that case, there's no such thing as my interpretation, their interpretations. Okay? So the idea is I got this 1976 around that area, around that era, that time. I'm asking the same questions. What is this? Oh, this is an iPhone. I want to be able to fully use this iPhone. It's not just my Sifu pass this down to me. This is a unique one. This is authentic. This is the oldest. I got this too. That's why I'm a grandmaster generations 5 or whatever heck. And you all have to bow to me. Or I'm the best student or what the heck. I care less about that. I care is it's like an iPhone. Can I fully use it? What is it for? That's why I do my training, hard training, tens of thousands of hours to look into this until today. 76, today is 2026, it's 50 years. Now, in the Buddhist, everybody love to talk about the Wing Chun is a Buddhist art. If you open the sutta of the Chinese Buddhism, you always have this stanza wrote in the first page of the Buddha's, the Chinese Buddhism sutta. This page is written by the Tang Dynasty Empress Wu Zetian, a female. At that time, 1,000 years ago, they already have female emperor in China. So you see, it is pretty rebreed. At that time, Tang Dynasty, China is like today's America. It's a democratic, it's pretty open-minded. It's open-minded, not pretty open-minded, it's open-minded. And it welcome different type of thinking, different type of religions into China. And so the emperors support the translate of the sutta. And she wrote here, he said that, here I have heard and hold on Buddha's teaching. I would like to know, to understand, to comprehend the true meaning of the Buddha's teaching. So as what I just now share with you, you got this thing, you got this thing. That's 50 years ago me, when I just graduated from high school. My mind is this. I want to understand what is the teaching of the anti-Qing Wing Chun in the Red Book 1850s. Got nothing else to do. I'm number one. I'm this lineage. I'm that lineage. Those stuff is actually not real Chinese tradition culture. Those are actually a type of twisted, distorted Chinese culture. It started in the late Qing dynasty until today. Those are very twisted stuff. I will come to that. So the bottom line is all of those things, we need to understand what is the true teaching by evidence, by law of physics, because the Chinese don't live in the vacuum. It's like this thing. 1 inch power or no inch power in Tai Chi generate power without mass. The technique focused on moving energy through the body to generate penetrating power. Are you kidding? Are you ghost or what? If you are a human, you live in this earth, you need to generate power. You need mass. Your muscle mass or your body mass. Because you're human. Okay? So no those kind of nonsense. Okay? Now. So let's start. One by one, I want to share with you guys. The notion is to clear your mind up because you are facing a lot of chaotic situations today. You want to practice martial arts, you want to practice Wing Chun, there's nothing wrong with it. But you need to know what you get into. You want to buy an iPhone, you need to know what you get into. Oh, there's a monthly charge. Oh, there's a warranty. Oh, there's a battery need to charge. There's a lot of things and a lot of trade-off. You don't just buy something and then you found out later on, what the heck is this? You found out later on, one month later, oh, shoot, I have to pay for this, I have to pay for that. Okay, so number one, you need to know. Like this one, okay, this is what my friend sent it to me. From a broader perspective, the choice often breaks down into two distinct paths. The warrior path, the combat peak. Okay, so whoever travel in this warrior path today in martial art is the goal to discover the absolute limit of human performance and dominance, the trade-off, high risk of burnout. Early athletes in this category often view their body as a resource to spend to achieve glory, status, or self-actualization. The outcome, like Bruce Lee or many MMA stars, they might achieve legendary status but face significant physical and mental health bills later in life. You buy the best iPhone, you prepare to pay for the monthly charge. Now, if you want to screw around with this, to say to run this thing into the limits, you might screw up your iPhone. Okay. Like you continue turn it on, get it overheat in the desert and so forth. Try to throw it out from a 25 storage a building to test the limits. You're going to pay for it. So this is the warrior path. The second is the scholar practitioner path, which is based on lifelong health. The goal is substantial ability and human engineering. The trade-off might never reach the same explosive peak as specialized athletes train is modulated by biometrics and recovery. The outcome, this is where Hendrik Santos' model sits. It treats martial art as a lifelong education. The win isn't a trophy at age 25. The win is being a functional, powerful, and mental clear human being at 75. So meaning that this is the iPhone. You don't go up 25th floor and drop it down and see that what is the limit. You use this iPhone as the specifications. And because of that, you get the warranty too. If you go this path for the combat pigs, well, the warranty will not cover. Nobody asks you to go to 25th floor of the building and slam this thing down, okay? Not to mention, if you don't even know that thing can get damaged and totally destroyed. So, this is the modern conflicts today. The issue today is that many people try to do both at the same time. Without a clear map, they train with the intensity of an MMA fighter, combat pig, but expect the longevity of a Tai Chi master, lifelong health, without the solid foundation of biology and physics you mentioned. This confusion is what leads to the broken body and mental health struggle seems in modern sports, combat sports. You want to screw around with this iPhone without following the specifications, there will be no warranty, and it's at your own risk. You're going to screw the entire thing up. So don't expect that your iPhone will work as everybody, working within the specifications and warranty. That is the bottom line. And your body, sorry, there's no spare parts, okay? So here is it. Hendrik Santos' contribution is essential, an attempt to provide a bridge, a way to train for effectiveness using the law of health science, so you don't have to choose between being dangerous and being healthy. You don't need to go travel into the extreme. You can do the best for you within the specifications or limit of yourself. Say if you are having a high blood pressure or something, you're not going to go to this combat pig stuff. The worst is in today's martial arts, as Wing Chun or Chinese Kung Fu. People have no idea on that. They don't even know that when they have a high blood pressure or heart problem or kidney disease, they shouldn't do extreme anaerobics because that will damage the body long term, in the long run. You create free radicals in your body and so forth, you're going to kill yourself. That is medical science. So my job here, as you said, there is provide a bridge. It's very easy. My job is, for the education, is so that you know there's the warrior path, there's a scholar practitioner path. Choose your own faith, choose your own destinations, and don't complain. and know where you want to go, what you can afford to pay for. If it's not for you, don't do it. So everything's upfront. It's like, again, like selling this iPhone. This is the specifications. This is what you can do. You can drop for 3 feet or 1 meter, but it's not going to go up to the 25th storage of the building and drop the thing down and expect this have to work. Okay? So this one thing. We all need to know this. I hit this hard because I seeing my instructor pass away at young age, who is good fighter. I see my classmate pass away or get become disabled at early age. So it's a serious stuff because we are living in this world. Okay. Now the second thing, everybody love to talk about pressure testing. So what is the pressure testing? You ask 10 people, 10 people tell you different things. Oh yeah, just fight. Hendrik, you talk so much. Go fight me. You know, I can beat you and everything. This is pressure testing. I call this bullshit. Why bullshit? Because pressure testing, as a commonly used in martial art, is often an umbrella term for sparring without a clear objective. It has several failures. People love to talk big, okay? The first thing, define parameters. If you don't know the maximum operating pressure of a structure, how much force force your stance can actually hold before it collapses, you can tell if a failure was due to the technique itself or poor executions. For example, if you want to fight me today, like those people who try to challenge me who's 35 years old, I'm almost 70. So if they win, why do they win? Is that because of I don't know what I'm doing, or it's because my body cannot take it? Well, there's a question. Okay. Another question is, should I do it? If I don't know my body, can I just go say, well, yeah, let's go fight? Isn't that idiotic? Okay, and then the random problem. Throwing practitioner into high stress sparring without technical benchmark is like testing a rocket by crushing it. You prove it broken, but you don't know why it broke. Well, you can test the testing. If you lost, do you know what the heck's going on? So this is always what I share. Okay, this is my engineering solution. Santo argues that before you pressure test against a person, you must benchmark the mechanics, identifying design limits. Using sports science, he defined the specs of techniques such as require intra-abdominal pressure or specific alignment of the 7 balls. If I'm like now 75 years old, 70 years old, how the hell I'm going to get a muscular muscle density and my bone density as a young 29 or 30 years old? How about heart rate? A 30 years old can have their heart rate raised up to 190 at 30 years old. Right now, at 70 years old, my maximum heart rate is only 150. So that 30 years old can have a heart rate of 190. I lost 40 beats already there, meaning my heart, my everything functioning is hitting the limit, the top at 150, and the 30-year-old is have a top of 190. You want to fight? So you want to know this. Measurable validation, measurable validations. Instead of vague stress, I advocate for tools like heart rate monitor and biometric data to ensure the practitioner is in the correct physiologic state for the operating range for the techniques to function. I just tell you. Right now, my heart rate, the maximum is 150. A 30-year-old heart rate can go up to 190. You know what is going on there already. Okay? How much your body can exert. Incremental resistance. Okay, so his model suggests that moving from static verification, checking the structure, like you're standing your EG ma, to dynamic verification, adding movement before finally reach a live resistance. You need to know. It's not like I do a static chain punch, beating a wall, a wall back. Compare with you have an opponent which is moving around, which is 50 pounds more than you. Do you know what is going on? Do you think he's the wall back? So pressure testing, what are you testing? It has to be clear. Okay. Today's people never been taught that way. You want to be gung ho? It's like you're 60 something years old or 60 years old. You say I'm the grandmaster. You're taking wine. You have the big belly, and then you have a high blood pressure, cholesterol problem, and then you say, "Well, let's fight." Well, sorry, you can get stroke. Okay, can get stroke. So that's the reality. So what pressure testing? One need to know very clearly what you're doing. Otherwise, as this is say here, throwing practitioner into high stress sparring without technical benchmark is like testing a rocket by crushing it. You prove it broken, but you don't know why it broke. Especially for people who are so-called sifu. Today, everybody love to call it themselves sifu. Why you look at your student? You want to pressure test that student when it is already have a weak body? Not everybody is equal. People like me, I born with diabetic type 1. I managed to live until today, healthy. There's a lot of work. Somebody who don't have this problem, born healthy, can live until today like me and still do all kinds of stuff because their body is born much more healthy than me. What to complain? There's nothing you can complain. There's nothing you should complain. The issue is we know we have this type of body. We know what is the limitations. Then we want to know how we going to best use of it to maintain it. So that's the idea. Pressure test on thing we know. So my engineering solutions. So Santos argue before you pressure test against a person, you must bench test the mechanics. Right? Identify design limits. Okay, so using sport science, and all this inter-abdominal pressure. Say if you want to take how to say that? You want to take a body shot. You need to know about your intra-abdominal pressure. If you have problem with a hernia before, why don't test it? You cannot take it. Or if you want to take it, you're taking a big risk for it. Okay? Because you have a hernia, a preconditions. So this is what I already share you with here. And the key is here. By treating Wing Chun as a technology with no limits, a practitioner gain predictability. You know exactly what point a technique will fail. If my elbow move 2 inch past his line, the momentum transfer breaks. It will fail. It's like you try to force me to have to go into a extreme heart rate, more than 150 my maximum heart rate, to fight that 30-year-old which have a 190 beats per second heart rate. You know it will fail. You know my heart will fail in a in the long period of time. It's like if you fight for say 1 minute, might be the body even exit the limit, be able to take it in a lucky way. But if it continues for 10 minutes, you know that thing is going to fail. Okay. And if we know somebody who's going to fail, what's the point to test it? Just to show that I'm young and I'm a stronger. Has that got anything to do with Wing Chun? No, they got nothing to do with Wing Chun, called bully. Why? You know that person is old and sick. You go challenge him. What kind of brain is that? Okay. So things can be predicted. And of course, this is the next one is diagnostics capability. When you feel inspiring, you can look at your six core element: physical, mind, breathing, energy, strength, momentum, to find the specific part of the malfunction. This is the reason why the six core element I created. You know what you are training. You know you'll be able to analyze things with it. It's not like today, people learn a little bit six core element from me and try to sell it as what they are energy or all those bullshit internal shit. Okay. It's not that this is engineering. This is for checking. So those who really know the six core element, it doesn't matter if they learn BJJ, people who learn BJJ learn the six core element too. They use it as a tools for analyze, for diagnostic. Not like those people who took this and then, oh, I create the grandmaster, the god, whatever hell, and talk about this internal nonsense stuff, using my stuff to make money, to mislead people. Okay, so you need to know all of this, the predictability. If you cannot fight, don't. Because what's the point to destroy your body? And if you lose in a fight, in a sparring, then you need to be able to find out what's going on. Why do you fail? So you can fix it. Okay. So in short, Santos' contribution is moving the art of try and error, vague pressure testing, to design performance engineering based training. Today's world is an AI world. You see so many people lose their job. You see healthcare. Like we are in America today, the healthcare price is so high. Many people not cannot afford for healthcare. Please take care of yourself. Okay? Know what you are doing. Know what is the pressure testing. Know whether you even need to go to do the pressure testing or not. If this thing is designed for 0 to 70 degree, don't test it in the military minus 55 to 150's temperature. I never against pressure testing, but you need to know what are you testing for. So pressure testing is not just, hey, Hendrik, will you be able to pressure test yourself? Pressure test what? Do you even know what the heck you're talking about? Okay, just because you are young and arrogant and act like a know-it-all, do you think you know what the heck you're talking about? Pressure testing? It is just a fact. Those are not martial artists. And it's not going to go any far anyway. You know, this type of people is not going to last long. Okay? So it go back to this. You want to go warrior path by show how good you are? The outcome will waiting for you here because it's predictable. Okay? Not the world is a causal system, it's predictable. Now, of course, what I'm saying here is a threat to the tradition. Why? If Hendrik Santo is right, it means that many grandmasters might actually be in poor cardiovascular health or have no real internal power according to the data. So for me, it's like my proof is this. He used scientific validations model. If he said state is relaxing or internal, then he show an HRV spike. Like in my book, in my channel, if you talk that you be able to calm yourself, then after your training, you must have your recovery or HRV go spike high or raise high. If I say that is the strike is powerful, then it's physics explain the inputs. You have to validate that with the scientific. Like somebody said, they often use a performance validation model. They want to see a person win a fight or outspar somebody to believe the theory. Again, this back to this. Pressure test what? The irony, okay, is that the critics are demand physical action while using myth, empty Chinese term that they themselves cannot measure or explain. This essentially moving the goals post. It's like, oh yeah, I can beat everybody in the rooftop fight. What does it mean? Is that because of your kung fu is better, or your body is stronger than the other person, or the other person is weaker, or the other person sick that day, or the other person have no idea what he's doing, or you just go beat a guy who never trained? So for me is martial art is a profession. Martial art is not some thug behavior to act big. In today's world, martial arts is always often looked down by the mainstream people because it look at you like a thug. When I was young, let me tell you this. When I was young, when I studied in Malaysia, 1970. Do you know all those parents of my classmate who is in the upper class do not want their kids to study martial arts? They want their kids to play tennis. They want their kids to play badminton or golf, but they do not want their son or their kids to to study martial art because they at that time there's a discriminations like martial art is belong to the low class, the top. I was I was in Penang, Malaysia at that time. I was sent to Penang to study Chinese language and everything for my high school. At that time, Indonesian, there's a lot of rich, well-to-do Chinese families send their kids there and ask them, no, tell their kids don't do that. They don't want their kids to do that. So if you keeping act like a thug, unprofessional, this good science is going down to the drain because the mainstream will look at you like, what the heck you're doing? Pressure testing? Can you tell me what does that mean? So that's why I want to be be able to test it, scientific and measurable, so that everything is very professional, everything is technical. It's like an iPhone. It's technology. And because it is a technology, the mainstream will not look you down. It's like music, right? Even the mainstream, the upper class, oh, let's play music because there's a music theory. There's a lot of good things. Well, martial art is like that too. It can be like that. Why is that has to be like the thug, the bullies behavior stuff? Well, it's not that. The Chinese do not do not how to say that, do not promote those kind of stuff in the ancient, and then later things change, so it become nonsense. So there's a black box effect. Many traditionals hide behind vague term like Qi because it's allowed them to remain expert without even being tested. It's like, well, I can beat you. I am the champion. I can slap you. But what do you really got anyway? You just behave, act like a thug. What do you contribute to the society besides violence? What can you do besides talk big? What do you help for people's living? Okay? And here, the threats of data. Once you introduce HRV, VO2 max, and physics, the mystery is gone. If a teacher claims to have high Qi but their HRV is low and their pulse is erratic, Santos model proved they are wrong. They don't have what they sell. Like months ago, somebody said, well, Hendrik, uh, nobody need you to go teach breathing. We all know breathing. Well, you are diabetic. Do you know how to breathe? Question me that way. Well, that guy have no idea on the breathing, which is the manipulative breathing or the natural biological rhythm breathing. He don't. Just because he's young, he thought he know everything. So if you put it under this thing, under the Olympic training, it's drop dead. Okay? Sometimes people gung ho because they got sick and then they get healed and they thought, oh, I have my Qi Gong. Are you serious? Look at those research in Harvard or other university like UCLA, to the yogic and to the to the Tibetan monk. The real deal. That's why the mainstream respect those, not just big talk and the airhead, but pretend to be good because I can beat you. I have big muscle. Chinese Kung Fu is not that. That's why I want it to be measured. So there's no snake oil, there's no selling BS. And if you don't be able to measure, it's like if your phone cannot be proof that it's working, why are you want to sell this much? Why are you going to 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 advertise to let everybody buy it? It do nothing. So that's why you can see you have a Sifu, even they promote him like a god, but you look at his student for generations, you can see the student really scattering around and doesn't have much knowledge. It's easy to see that, especially in today's the Olympic grade or level of scientific testing validifications. So, am I doing this because this is the Santo way? No, it is not. Why? Remember the ancestor? Remember the ancestor Qi Jiguang, the ancestor of Wing Chun? Qi Jiguang was perhaps the first sports scientist of Chinese martial art. He viewed martial arts not as mystical pursuit, but as standardized technology for survival. So just take a snapshot of this. You can you can read it later, and I'll just go to here. Over here it said that the parts of solder Qi Jiguang broke down the effectiveness of specific component physical conditioning, physiological result, technical precisions. If a solder failed, a commander could identify if it was failure of college fitness and techniques. They're back to the testing. That's where all this measurable thing, what I present come from. Okay. Objective-based training. Qi Jiguang famous dismissed flowery technique that look good but lack utility. He insists that every move must have a clear functional objective, exactly what Santo advocate by replacing weak qi with measurable momentum. The manual matrix, Qi Jiguang's boxer canon, was an attempt to create a universal standard so that training wasn't depend on mood or secret of single master. Santo's Wing Chun metric is essential a 21st century version of this, a system manual designed to make result predictable and repeatable. So I'm just using 21st century's language to present what General Qi Jiguang's boxing canon is. All my books in Amazon is just doing that. So don't look at this like the Santo way, the Hendrik way, and then you're going to challenge Hendrik. No, I'm just presenting General Qi Jiguang in 21st century language. Well, how the hell can I wrote all this thing? I can't. General Qi Jiguang is the guy who do all the battle and record in the history on how many war he win, how effective his people wipe out the enemy. Not Hendrik Santo. Okay? So follow General Qi Jiguang, not follow me. Who the hell am I? compared with General Qi Jiguang. And you see that he don't keeping changing his army. He loved his army. The casualty of his army is really, really low. Like he can wipe out his opponent by 1,000 people or something, and he do not lose more than 10 people. And his army is well trained, healthy. So that's what it is. So here, why this matter for your training? By linking Santo's modern science back to Qi Jiguang's military route, you realize that this isn't new information. It is a restoration of professionalism. I just tell you. Chinese Kung Fu, Chinese martial art is not a tax or bullies tools to bully other. It is a professionalism. It is a professional, an art, a technology. Martial art, Chinese Kung Fu practitioners should feel dignity that they are this profession. They need to get respected, like General Qi Jiguang. However, now you got a problem. This is the problem we face today in Chinese Kung Fu. Traditionalism often gets stuck in middle period of martial art history, namely the mid and end of Qing dynasty after the 1850s until today, which become heavily influenced by theater, religions, and family secret. Today, you talk about lineage, you talk about movie, you talk about stories, you talk about Tao, Buddhist. It's this. That's what it is. But it's not what the reality is. So the reality is scientific Wing Chun and Qi Jiguang focus on early period logic. The body is a machine and combat is a physics. It got nothing to do with my family secret. I do Tan Sao this way. I have these tricks for inch power. Oh, I'm in that movie. I'm the grandmaster. I go travel in China. This is I learned from this, the descendant of this hero of Wing Chun. The reality, it is a professionalism. It is the body is a machine and combat physics. It got nothing to do with my family, my Wing Chun, my lineage, and all this. Is that Chinese? If you bring Qi Jiguang back today, you will say, what the heck are you guys doing? This is not what we are, we Chinese at 450 years ago. And even worse, today get into the West. How many Westerners go traveling in China for so many years, or from 10 years to 1 year, or 20 years to 1 year, or whatever, and become master of Wing Chun? They are Wing Chun. What did they know anyway? They don't. They just only know this so-called theater, religion, and family secret stuff, which got nothing to do with the reality of the Chinese Kung Fu. The body is a machine and combat is physics. Got nothing to do with that. So if you can diagnose why rockets, your techniques fail, you aren't an engineer. You are just a spectacle. Both Qi Jiguang and Hendrik Santos argue that to be a true practitioner, you must be the engineer of your own body or your own life. This is called responsibility. That's why you need a Sifu at the old time to train you on this. But today, Sifu is what? Since the end of the Qing dynasty, the end of the Qing dynasty. And the other day we talk about in the other YouTube talk about Feng Xiucheng, is this thing, is this hero or this top guy or whatever. Those are this. It's no longer the Chinese kung fu. Okay. So that is why I make this channel. I wrote my books. As well, I often say that I'm just what? I am just the Horatio telling Hamlet's story. Here I'm telling the story of Qi Jiguang. I'm telling the story of Shaolin Xianji, the monk Xianji, and I'm telling the story of 1850s anti-Qing Wing Chun. I'm nobody. I just tell their story in today's language. Hopefully, in AI era, everybody having this understanding, be able to live better in daily living. Okay. Now, of course, for you guys who don't know Qi Jiguang or know a little Qi Jiguang, who is Qi Jiguang? So Qi Jiguang was a legendary Chinese military general, strategist, and national hero of Ming Dynasty. Okay, he is celebrated in Chinese history for two primary achievements: eradicate Warco, the Japanese pirate trading around China, and reinforcing Great Wall to defend against the Mongol invasions. Now, so just look into this. The Qi family army, recognized by recognizing the poor quality of existing government troops, Qi recruit a new force primarily composed of mine and farmers from Yiwu. He trained them in the famous Mandarin Duck formation, a favorite squad-based tactic that utilized combined long and short weapons to counter the superior close-quarter combat skill of the pirate of the Japanese, where one hand is the samurai sword, another one is jujitsu. So with the Mandarin Duck formations, he defeat them. And this is more interested for you. Martial art influence. Qi is also considered a forefather of modern Chinese martial arts, as he incorporated an unarmed combat into military training to improve his soldiers' physical fitness. So this is Qi. Wow, a hero like that. Qi Jiguang was fired by the emperor early 1583, age of around 57. His downfall was primarily due to a political shift, a death of his powerful patron. So the emperor is just because she was close aligned with Zhang, he felt the favor of the Wanli emperor after Zhang's passing for no reason. So he was transferred to Guangdong, and then he relieved his duty. And then final year, this is about 57, he was dismissed. But he's not like today's our veterans. He doesn't have Medicaid. He doesn't have Medicare. His health failed. His wife left him, and he spent his remaining years, the 3 years, in illness in his hometown. He died on January 17, 1588, at age of 60. This is life. Nobody say that if you are a hero, you are the legend, you will deserve everything or the luxuries or no. So this is Qi Jiguang. He do things for the people. So here, the Qi family army. So Qi Jiguang was fired in the early 1583, but his family army still around, even though they get put aside. So you want to remember this, the battle of Hunhe fought in 1621 during the late of the Ming Dynasty. Okay, saw a tragic but heroic last stand of the Qi family army. So what happened is that Qi Jiguang passed, his army is still there, but it's not maintained as good. But they are still the army. They fought the Manchurians, the troop. So this troop encountered the main force of the Manchu army while attempt to support the Ming defense in Liaodong. So this is the last stand. The Qi family army, armed with advanced firearms and spear, held their ground against the overwhelming odds because you hold you against facing the big army of the Manchuria. That the Manchu have this huge army, and General Qi Jiguang's army is not maintained and have really small resources. They caused the Manchu army reported suffered significant casualty before breaking the Qi formations. The outcome, both the elite were almost entirely wiped out, making the severe blow to the Ming military ability to resist the Manchu. This battle is often cited as the moment of extreme bravery, where Chief and Valley Army fought to the last man rather than retreating. So they walk their talk. The real warrior. As this is the writing of our General Qi Jiguang. So he said that I have no will, no intention to be a top official of the government. My wish is only to settle the Japanese pirate so that people can live peacefully. So that's Qi Jiguang. That is the Wing Chun ancestor. It's not somebody like Feng Xiucheng, okay, fighting in the side of what? Of the Manchu official who sell opium and act like a hero, say, well, he was the best fighter in Canton fighting the rebels. And the rebels meaning the anti-Qing. So who the hell is Feng Xiucheng anyway? In other style, I careless. But in Wing Chun, sorry. There is nothing Feng Xiucheng but name. In a Ming dynasty or the Chinese sense, Feng Xiucheng is a traitor. Okay? So today I lay this flat for you. I am nobody. It doesn't matter if I exist or not. I have no will to be like everybody reading a book or having a school, my lineage or Wing Chun, anything. I don't. My missions is just to be a Horatio, tell you the story of Qi Jiguang, the Shaolin Xianji, and the 1850s, the anti-Qing Wing Chun. What is the content within it so that you can make use of it in today's life to have a better life in this AI era to come, which is very tough for human being. So this is the first YouTube. The next, we're going to go to the Qi. Today, everybody loves to talk Qi, Qi, Qi. But they have no idea what is Qi. They cannot do it. And the next, after that, come on, you're talking about power without body mass. You think the General Qi Jiguang at that time is idiotic, stupid? So where is, just put it this way, when the Qi family army is fighting the Manchu to create the big damage to the Manchu, and they die, fight until the last man, where is all these people who can have this fajing? I can generate force, power, inch power without body mass. Where are you guys? Is that exist in the real world? So what is the point to mislead the Chinese and then the mislead the Westerner today? What is the point? Especially we in America. What is the point to bring all this nonsense to America? The Chinese don't do that. The real one, not the fake, okay? So until next time.